Patch 1108 just dropped. I have studied the new map reworks for Pearl and Abyss to help you navigate the changes and give you a strategic advantage against your opponents. So we're going to go over multiple scenarios here and multiple situations. On attack, I'm going to cover where to plant the spike and then post-plant scenarios. And then I'm going to cover defense as well, but we're going to start off with attack. We're on Abyss here, and you see that they've changed B site quite drastically. They've removed this huge wall that you use to run across right here that you can jump on and you can look over. They've added these boxes here for some cover that gives you really nice angles, and I'll go over that as well. And then they've also added these cubbies that you could hide in. And you've also noticed that they've changed the planting location. So here in the highlighted blue is where you can plant. The biggest part is that you can't actually plant on the edge anymore. So for here on attacking, I want to take a look at the angles you get looking in from Nest. So Nest here is actually a little bit difficult, I feel like, because there's a lot of angles you have to check. Not only Heaven was always been a threat, but with this box here and this box here, they provide a little bit of off angles that you're not going to be used to. So if you're in Nest, you gotta check this angle. Then when you swing out here, this is going to be rough because you're going to have to check this Heaven angle, but also this box angle is going to be revealed just at the same time you swing out here, right? You can't isolate the angle, right? You can't isolate the angle enough to actually have an advantage. Okay, so now we're going to walk up and do a mock scenario here. A lot of people with Spike usually go back here and they plant back here, right? But I recommend planting in this little sliver here. As you can see, this part here is actually all plantable. Now I wouldn't go this far, but I would tuck here and plant in this spot here. Like, I'm not gonna fully plant, so I don't have to actually restart the round, but right here, right?
There.
I'm gonna put my TP here. You want to put the spike, I think, right here is gonna be your best bet, and that way you can actually hold it from many angles. So you can actually hold it from right here. I don't know where you call this spot here, but danger, I guess. You know, whatever, you can hold it here. You can hold the spike from here. Then someone can probably just put like maybe like right here. I don't know. But that way you have the most visibility to this spike plant, right? This is going to be a really bad spot to plant from. I do not recommend planting here. This one's going to really suck because you can't see it. You might be able to fight whoever's going to go to it, but if they sneak through, you're not paying attention. They're sneaking, and then you hear a tap. You're like, oh shit, I got around the corner, and actually put your whole body in danger from this angle here, from this angle here. Go all the way around, check it. He could just be holding here. He could tap it, hold off angle, boom, swing out, kill you. This spot is gonna be okay. I think people are gonna plant here for full safety, and I think that's alright. But let's say you plant here, you could check here without fully exposing yourself. You are still swinging out quite wide just to check. It is gonna be harder for an enemy player to tap the spike here, like to tap it and try to play an off angle to catch you off. It's going to be a little awkward because you're going to be at a similar angle from this one, which will right here, which they'll have to check anyways. From danger here is going to be hard to, you can't even see it. Like, you have to basically hold it. They smoke you off, you're basically cooked. So this is going to be not that great of a spot. If you can plant here, I think if you can plant in this cubby area here, you can be most likely plant here. So those are the initial spots that I believe people will start planting from. But I want to give you the most optimal position to plant this mic, and it's going to be in this corner right here. This is going to be the most optimal. This will give you cover from the stairs, tower, and this is assuming that your team is playing post plant from Nest and B main, even maybe like back here, right? So let's say you plant this spike in this corner. What type of advantage do you get? I'll show you that Nest players see line of sight, B main players can see it. If you really want to play here, and this is really risky because you have to peek tower, these boxes, and then you can see it, so that's risky, but you know, it's doable. It's a choice, right? And then you can hold it obviously from here. So you have a lot more angles to hold it from. The only issue is trying to get up here because you're exposing yourself through stairs, these boxes here, and getting to here, and then planting the spike. If you don't have full control side, it's going to be a little rough. But that's for post-planting, and for the attacking side, I want to hop onto the defending side and see how they can hold the site better. Heaven is still relatively the same. This area here, though, is going to be another good spot. It was good before the rework, but now it's even better because you have a lot more room with these boxes here and this blue box, whatever, this blue container here. You can hop on this and actually hold Nest from here. You have another player here who can hold this danger area. Maybe a Cypher, maybe a Sentinel, swings off their util, boom, boom, boom. And there is enough space as well to go through here, strike here. Maybe they throw a util here, you can walk here, still be safe from util. They throw a molly, they throw a nade, raise nade, deadlock nade, whatever. Try to get you out of here, trying to contest you. You can play this side and you can swap between the two. Another great spot to hold on B here is going to be these boxes. So this box is actually really good, and they actually play really well on attacking side. Is if you want to hold stairs, you're totally covered, completely covered here. But also, it's going to be good for holding here, and better yet, let's say for example we have a player walking here, right? Let's say an attacker is coming through here, boom, boom, boom. You can actually hide in this little crack here and still have tight angles and swing, like, and fight really close fights here, right? Maybe you're fighting behind this box here. An attacker is over here trying to get you out of this box. You can hold angles. It's not just one box that you're just really tight, like you can't really hold much here. But you have another box here to give you some cover from stairs. Like, look at this spot here. Like, look at these the contests you can put on stairs. You're decently covered from heaven. Nobody's standing that tall, right? They have to completely expose themselves walking out. So this box is going to be really good. I like to see how people are going to utilize these two boxes here to make plays. Playing like this is going to be weird as well. Like, this angle's here. This is going to be really weird. I like to see how people mix it up. It's going to be really interesting. I guess lastly, this spot here is going to be the least viable. It's the most safest position because it's hard for people to actually get you out of this location here. And let's say you have a TP, you're a chamber, you're an omen. You can TP out whenever you need to, but you're really playing to defend this planting location in this area as well. This is very passive. This spot's really good if you're working with tandem with other teammates. So I think B side is really nice. They did change a lot of good things on the B side here, and they've added a lot of new ways that players can work around. They also took away of a lot of things like planting on the edge here. They've also took away this box here that you can overlook holding this B main push, which was really strong. But now they took that away, so you're a little more grounded with the other players. But they also gave a lot of other options as well, like this spot here. Hope you guys thought that was useful. And I'm gonna hop into the change that they made on mid, and then we'll go into Pearl. So the big changes that they made for mid here is gonna be this section here has been relocated, and now instead of a straight walkway, there's just this little indent here. To get through to B main, you have to walk through these vents here that are located closer to these bookshelves. Nothing crazy in my opinion, but it is just small changes. I think the biggest effect that this change has made was holding this door here. So I'm going to break this door and give you a good line of sight. Just look at this angle here. So you can actually hold deep into the vents here. You can also hold it from here as well. This was always been an option, but now there's two angles. There's angles you have to check now. This angle and this angle when you swing out, right? Not to forget, there's also people can hold down here, right? And then when you come out, this angle here, and then obviously your go-to angle right here. Think about these options. Think about the angles that I just pinged of how many things you have to look at when you come out these vents. Very risky to actually play out of this vent, but it also gives the attackers a lot of options to contest vents and make sure that they don't get this rotate. I do want to talk about this change to this indent that they added here. So when you swing out here, obviously you do your normal checks, then you can isolate this angle here and you can hold it from here, right? And that's pretty much it. We can look at the defending side here. Check this real quick, make sure no one's there. You can actually hold, if you go through B main, you can actually hold this site pretty well now, but boom, check, 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 and then obviously check there, and then as well, this is what it looks like from this point of view. Same thing, it's always been the same, it's going to be the same, but you can't see that angle, so it isolates a couple angles. Makes it a little harder to actually defend, I think. And it gives a lot of leadway for attackers. In my rank, in the gold and slash silver rank, you're probably not going to see a lot of people utilizing mid. And it's very, I mean, I don't really utilize mid on Abyss that often. It's just a rotating space. That's pretty much mid for you, and there's not much to take away from it, in my opinion. Comment that down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the B side and mid here. And we're just going to hop into Pearl now. Alright, so we're now here on Pearl, and so let's take a look at the changes that they've made on Pearl and how they affect the planting, how they affect the attacking, how they affect the post plant, and how they affect the defending. Alright, there's a couple of spike planting locations that I think will be very beneficial for you, and a lot of disadvantages in the new changes that they've added. First thing I want to start off is a couple of planting locations. The best location to plant right now is going to be this spot on ping. Plant right here. I'll put a marker down so you can see what it looks like. So this spot allows you to hold the spike from long if you do want to still play from long. You could hold it from back here. You could still hold the spike from here. You do have to check this angle first. Make sure they don't have this halls. Hopefully you have a player playing halls. You can still check really if you really want to. You can't even check from back here because I'm going to get to this in a second, but they cover that whole part up. So you really want to play more on site, and they're really forcing you that on this patch. You do want to have halls controlled. It's going to be really important for the post plants here, and maybe even deep into halls as well, closer to their side. Hopefully you have somebody link, putting pressure, or maybe having control of it. They're going to really want you to have full control of B side here before you plant, and it seems that way with Abyss as well. The disadvantages on B side now is going to be attacking. I feel like attacking is going to be really hard to achieve. There's also a lot of small crevices and cracks where utility could be placed at, specifically sensitive utility could be placed at to deter attackers. So while this plant is the best one, let's get into worse one, and it's gonna be this one. This is only bad in my opinion because of how B long is gonna be less viable as a post plant scenario or post plant position. Doesn't matter, right here, right? You're gonna want somebody playing halls. Once again, they can hold the spike from here. They can defend, not defend the spike, but they can defend players from pushing here into halls and taking it. If you have someone playing here, you want 2 people in halls. Or holding here is going to be terrible because if you did not know, this is wall bank. So let me show you. All these black holes here, not the gray ones, but the black ones can be wall bangable. Even if you're planting here, like I said, if you planted here, they could wall bang that. So you do need to be cautious when planting. But planting here is gonna suck because if you still want to play long, you can, but you have a lot of angles to clear. So you have to clear this column here, clear nest or tower, whatever you call it, heaven, I guess. You have to clear this angle here, and then you can swing and check. So those are the 2 biggest planting spots. If you really can, honestly, just plant in the open. But if you can plant in the open, I'm assuming you have decent control of sight. And if you have deep control of sight, you could plant here. It's very much in the open. And that way this allows a long player to not have to check every angle. They can still see it. And then it's wall bangable as well. So if someone's hiding behind it, trying to get to it, you can wall bang them. Or if you guys are flipped sides and defending, or your post planting is defending from people coming through long, you could wall bang this to somebody trying to defuse, right? There's a lot of options. The biggest issue for planting in this spot is that you have to have full control of sight. Maybe not tower, but you're gonna have link to have control over, right? You have to take link, and then you have to have halls to be taken over because they can just see you plant here. Let's say they know you're planting there. Someone here in tunnel can just wallbang this very easily. Heaven, not so much. It's going to be a little more tough on Heaven players to wallbang this. Like, you have to go like this. They would have to know you're planting there, and then they're most likely going to get smoked off. So I think the best spot is going to be in this corner, but like I said, be careful of the wallbang. One last thing for planting in this corner here, I'm going to show you that I didn't get to, is this angle. This angle is actually new. This is actually one of the new reworks that they did, is add this little indent here, and they made this not a 90-degree angle, they made it a slope here, and this isolates a fight with Link, and you are covered from Heaven, and a lot of these other angles. So there's that, and then I'm going to go through one more thing on attacking before we go to the defense, and that it is this column here. And the column's always been here, but the column now, if I line it up right, look at this line up here. You can walk all the way up here and not get viewed. You have to check for people hopping up on this wall because that's still a thing. But you can walk up here and not get peeked at all. And better yet, I'm going to show you this POV from the defending side. Look at that right there. You can't see this walkway unless you're holding it from this area here. So you have to put yourself on this island here to hold this, and you got to TP out, dash out, use utility to get out, then you can hop back into a safer position. But even then, they get free crossing. Look at this free crossing lane. You can't wallbang that. It's not viewable. You don't know how many people have crossed. It's a lot safer angle, but you get less opportunities, you get less info. And here, you do get more info, but you're a lot less vulnerable because of this smaller cover that you have here. So there it goes for attacking. Now let's get to defending. One of the big options here is I'm going to start off with these boxes. This is a very decent spot, although very risky because there is no out if you don't have an ability to, if you don't have a movement ability. So if you don't have a dash, you don't have a TP, chamber, veto, jet, waylay, you need an out here because let's say you're holding that spot. There's nowhere for you to go. Like, if you start running out, there's so much room for them to kill you. So you need an ability to get out, and you can even play, I was just thinking earlier, is that you can actually have an omen or a veto or a chamber. You just jump back and forth from these 2 spots. take a fight, make some noise, shoot at them. They use utility, try to get you out of there. Boom, you're already out. Boom, boom, boom. I'm here now. Let's swing this. Oh, you're over here now. What the heck? They shoot that corner. Boom, you're back here again. This spot back here is relatively the same. Area back here is not really much for defenders. You could still like come back here and get a wide angle on this new addition here is what they added. This little extension from the house. But I still think people won't play here as much because you do need an ability to get out as well. These two positions I just listed, you do need an ability to escape out of. Playing here is viable. Once again, it's nothing, like I said, crazy. You're playing very safe back here. You do have an outage of going through Link. Finally, the view you get from Nest with the new changes is a lot of angles now. This box here now, take a look at there. And don't forget about this new spot, post-planting situation or retake situation, you can't see in that corner. So the physical changes that did to the map isn't as significant, but the way that they alter the play style is going to be significant. Does that make sense? So I hope that gives a good overview on the map changes. Like I said earlier, comment below if you guys have any ideas on how this might play an effect in the competitive side and or the professional side. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.